Well, here we go. Clippers, hair clippers, dog clippers, lady clippers, all sorts of clippers. And the fault is an intermittent, it operates intermittently. This one here, for instance, came in and the owner said it sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. These are a very good make of clipper actually. I use these ones myself. And I had a feeling on what it was straight away. So you plug it in and it works fine, both speeds work. The drive mechanism's fine, everything's working fine. But if you moved it about, and just as you do when you're using it, it operates intermittently. So check the lead, and sure enough, the lead was intermittent. This is a simple one. And so I found the lead was actually, if you wiggled it around there, which is typical, it's got a break. You can't change these plugs, these are factory fitted. The only thing you can salvage from that plug is the fuse. And I always salvage fuses, because when I'm doing repair jobs, especially if there's one comes in, that's a nice 3 amp fuse, you see, which you have to put in these clippers. When you're testing stuff when it first comes in, if you happen to blow the fuse, it's a brand new fuse which you've wasted. So I'll keep the old fuses and use them as crash dummies, if you like. So chop the lead off, put the new plug on, give it a good test, shaking the lead, pulling it, yanking it, and then you can pat test it as well if you do pat testing. So that one's okay. The next clipper that came in was again intermittent, and it's the same make again. It looks a bit rough, this one. And on this one, which is the same type of switch on this one, I've just wrapped the lead up. The actual speed control, 2-speed on and off switch is faulty, so we've got to get a new switch for that one. That'll have to be ordered. Now this one here, this one's intermittent again, and that's working okay. It's not there. So you bring the lead all the way along and you can shake it. It's a lot more vigorously than this. I'm only doing this lightly for the camera. And you've got to shake it and pull it, bend it. Ah, there we are, you see. You see that? Now, what I like to do is to hold that part of the lead firm under my arm so it's not moving, to be sure that we've got the right part, the right section of the lead. There. And there we are. And you can see it looks a bit dodgy around there anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that. First thing to do, pull the plug out. I always like to work that I can see the plug, and then you know you're not in any danger. And that applies to all appliances, except appliances with got big capacitors in them, such as anything which has got a induction motor in, that's a motor without brushes, will have a start capacitor, or a microwave which will have a nice fat capacitor in that, and when you unplug them they're still lethal. If you should touch across the connections of the capacitor, either at the capacitor or further along the wiring where it goes to the high voltage transformer, it will give you a shock. And take that cover off, you can see it's quite mucky under there. That needs greasing, that's dry. It will give you a nasty shock, and it's potentially lethal actually, especially if you've got a weak heart, because these mains capacitors, they're not joking, fooling around. They're pretty tough cookies, you know, and they'll give you a right belt. Now, the lead here, what we've got to change, it plugs in, it doesn't plug in, it screws in there. It comes through this flex protector here. That's meant to protect the flex so it doesn't break. But of course, where it goes in the end here, that's where it breaks then. It just makes it last a bit longer, so it's not such a sharp bendy all the time. So what we've got to do now is just carefully take that top off there, and then under here, not touching any of the other circuitry in there, we've got to change the, we've got to chop it off. So what we'll do is, we'll, making sure again the plug's out. I have chopped the mains lid before, but it's still been plugged in. It's not funny. And get that out of the way. There we are. Now we can see what we're doing. Well, we can do more than see what we're doing. We can actually do what we want to do. So just remember that the brown lead goes to the left or to the inner workings, okay, and the blue lead goes to the right. So we'll just undo this here. A few turns on this connector block here. There we are. Now, there we are. That's that out. Okay. Right. Remember which way around it goes. Now that again is a factory moulding, so you can't. You cannot take that out of there unless, is this a split moulding? Let's have a look at this. This might be a two-part one. Let's just have a look, see if we can open this up, because I do see a joining line there. No, it's just a mould mark. No. No, it can't be pulled out of there. Well, it can be pulled through, but it won't do any good because you've got to get into that. That's tough. It's the two leads that go through, you see. Now, there's no way you're going to be able to poke them through that lead. Yes, that's clear now. So, what you can see a burn mark on the lead here.